My name is Karen Netzel. I have 2 children. My first was a premature baby. Well, my son was born at 25 weeks gestation. He spent 7 months in the hospital. He went through pretty much every complication known to premature babies. Probably our worst day was, well, besides the day he was born, when we weren't quite sure whether or not he would live through the day. Day 8 was horrible for us. That's when he perforated 2 holes in his bowel and he had to have surgery. At that time he was on a ventilator. He was on 2 ventilators, I believe, and he wasn't stable enough for them to move him to the operating room. So by the time I got to the hospital, they had built an operating room around him and they were ready to go. And he weighed 1 pound and 12 ounces at that time. That was the day that I learned the incredible strength that my son had. He shows me every day, you know, what it is to really live your life. He has mild cerebral palsy. He has a global developmental delay, but nothing has ever deterred him. He rises to every challenge every day. And the thing I always tell people is that he has taught me more than I could ever teach him. I was there every single day because I felt that if I was there, nothing bad would happen to him. And that is the crazy things that mothers go through, because when this happens to you as a mother, the first part that you have to deal with is the guilt of, you know, why couldn't I carry him that whole term? And people who don't understand would even ask me, what did you do? And the difficulty in dealing with that was, it was awful, because I was his mother and I felt like I failed him. So that's what you go through as a parent. You go through every single day. What's going to happen? Is he going to live through the day? Am I going to come and there's going to be some really bad news again? Or is it going to be a really good day and maybe I'll get to hold him? That was the biggest thing, was when I would get to hold him, because he was attached to so much machinery that it didn't happen very often. And what I used to do, they would do kangaroo care and they would put him on my bare chest, and we had the hospital gowns that we would close up, and after they had put him back in his bed, I would close it up so I could feel the heat as long as possible afterwards, because that was the only bonding that I had with him. This foundation will be so important for parents because it will give them the first step in finding people, finding families that have been through this experience, finding information. And I think the biggest thing is finding that you're not alone. Your friends and family don't really understand what it is that you're going through. And I remember most of them said to me, he just has to grow, right? And I would think, wow, like growing is probably the least of my worries. But nobody really understands prematurity and nobody really knows what it encompasses. So we did our best to educate people, and we did our best to educate ourselves too, with whatever materials we could find. The doctors and the nurses at the hospital where Matthew was were unbelievably nice, kind. They're like extended family to us now. They made sure that we understood everything that was going on. They made sure that we were prepared for what would happen in the future. With every complication that came along, there would be, this is what this could mean. So as Matthew was growing and developing, we were fully prepared for anything that would present itself. And that, is full credit to the hospital. They really prepared us. They educated us the best they could. And probably the best thing was they included us in all the making of the plans. In his care, we were part of the team. And so I think that also prepared us for what was to come too. What I can tell other parents going through this is, it is hard. It's very hard, and but I think it makes you a better person. I know I've been through things that have strengthened me as a person. So I think it's been my own personal growing experience. And what I would say to other parents is that I think the biggest disappointment is that this is not what you had planned for your baby, but you need to embrace it, because this is your child's path in life, and this is their beginning, and it doesn't take anything away from the person that they are. It enhances the person that they become.